Hello, welcome to Random Bout of Idiocy with your host, Bia. Today I'm going to show you a brand new event that just got released into Final Fantasy XI last week. Its name is Incursion. We don't know everything about the event yet, so bear with me. I will try to show you what we do know and at least give you a little snapshot of what's going on. This image is shown to you twice as fast because posting a 50-minute video would not be fun. I also edited out our entrance because as you can see, we're going to hit 5 minutes before we actually do anything. We are doing this at level 131. Now the way that this system works is you zone in, there's 5 notorious monsters and 1 mega boss. You need to get the key items from each one so you can make the event harder and hopefully give you better drops. What happens is usually a group can only kill, especially after you level up a few times, usually the group can only kill maybe 2 or 3 of the NMs, and each time you level it up it's going to get tougher and tougher. So what we usually do is we run in, go to the first NM, kill it, go to the second NM, kill it, then exit. When you go back in, you can now teleport to either of those two NMs. So whichever is closest to the next Notorious monster that you want to go to, we port there and try to make our way to that one. Um, I don't know of any group that's killed all of them, and if they did, I guarantee you it wasn't at level 131 as far as in one run in 45 minutes. Um, it would be almost impossible unless they had already had the key items imported, and even then it would be extremely difficult. Um, as a link shell, we've gone through some trials and tribulations on this event already, so I'll try to give you some of the pearls of wisdom that we have so far. And like I said, it's only been out for a week, so we're even still trying to change what we're doing. Each one of the 5, and even the Mega Boss, each one of the 5 notorious monsters has a group around it of normal mobs, and then, like you're seeing me fight right here, 2 smaller notorious monsters called adherents. Each one of them have extremely high HP, and I recommend you try to take them out if possible, but if you're running out of time, try to sleep them and go for the Mega Boss. Oftentimes, now that we've leveled up, we'll kill both adherents and then the Mega Boss, and then the regular boss, then move to the next one, and on the next one we'll sleep the adherents because we'll be running out of time by the time you get everybody there and rebuffed up. Now, this event can be fairly difficult because there's a lot of encumbrance where it takes off just your weapon, and there is also a lot of amnesia, making white damage kind of a difficult thing as well. Initially, when we started doing these events, we found Monk to be very strong. Okay, key the eye rolls right now because everybody keeps complaining about Monk being too strong. However, as you see in this video, everybody's assisting me, and we have found that once we stun locked or slept all the ads, etc., that Conqueror, Koga, Ryu, and I'm not kidding, Mythic Thief Dagger are far superior in damage. Um, with Monk, when you got your amnesia, you were still dealing so much white damage that by the end of the parse they would have done so well because of that. Combine that with a ton of encumbrance where you can't keep aftermath up on Koga or the other mythic users. It became it became a wash. The monks would come out on top. Now that we're doing a lot better job of stunning most of those, it's not even close. I believe in this video you'll see I'll do 25% of the damage or close to it. These mobs are extremely evasive. You will bring 2 or 3 geos, so all those people who thought geo was going to be useless, yeah, we bring a lot of geos. We always have a couple bards, a couple cores as well. Accuracy is a problem, even with madrigals, hunter's roll, and evasion down from the geos. I'm still using at least a mid accuracy set at this level, which is again 131. Um, it's quite a challenge to be honest with you, but anyway, as you can see, we're taking this one down pretty well, and then we'll do the run to the next one. We ported to this one, and then we did the run to the next one. This one was a One we had already fought before, so we could telly to this one, but the next one we don't have the telly to, so we're going to run to it. You can also see the whole trust menu thing still throws me off. I'm used to using the items being like just underneath my abilities, and now it's two down, so that still throws me off. Even with a good white mage, you can see I'm still using some remedies and whatnot to try to maintain my damage. Um, we are seeing um, a lot of jobs do well at this event, so have faith. Unless you've got a group that can't stun very well, you can take things other than monk. Um, with that note, I also would like to say that I'm seeing a lot of people complain about balance of jobs, things like that on forums. Not that I read them all the time, but I still see some of them, and I want to point out that just a month or two ago, everybody thought that Mythic Dagger was a joke, and in this event, for example, we are seeing them just destroy. And these are not trash mobs; these are hard mobs where we're using extreme accuracy, and they're tearing it up. Or we're seeing, even relic thieves doing really well. We're seeing dragons do extremely well. Of course, they just got a buff, but still, we're seeing a lot of jobs do well, and some jobs that don't even have, their mythics are keeping up with my Koga or my Glansfost. That's saying a lot when you think about it. Yes, Beast can't keep up with a Koga Sam, but it shouldn't. It's also got a Beast and survivability. So I think a lot of times we're seeing the player base dictate, especially as I keep seeing the forums, they're like, well, shout group's never going to pick you up if you're not a monk with this and this and this. Okay, well, you're going with a shout group. They don't want to lose. It's already a risk, so they're going to try to pick the perfect setup. If you're going with your friends and they're competent, then you can kind of get outside of the bounds and find out, or the boundaries, excuse me, and find out, what would be good. Um, there's a few things we learned about this event and jobs. Geo being one of them. That's it's extremely key. You can't dispel their haste. You can't dispel their evasion down. You just they're getting bard songs and all that get dispelled like crazy in here. Um, if you don't have stun lock, again, very key. Once we leveled up quite a bit, we all started going to where we assist. Speaking of assist, I'm doing really bad. It's been years since I've had to be the main assist, and I'm not doing what you should do, which is try to target the next mob when this one's, 20% or whatnot. Part of that was I didn't expect how quick they would die. I mean, with these conquerors and, mythic daggers, and I think there's two relic hand to hands here. Things are dying so fast, depending on where their TP is at, that it was hard for me to get the timing down. But by the end of the night, it was definitely going a lot smoother. So have patience. Even players who've played a lot, if you haven't done something in a while, it can be a little bit difficult. You can see there's going to be a mistake here. Um, this is where we were supposed to go, but one of our friends accidentally ran into a group of mobs, so we're going to run back and slow down the video here for a second. So I apologize for that part of the video. Um, let's see. Not a lot is going on in Final Fantasy XI other than this event. The servers are a little bit dead. During NA prime times, it's 600-700 players. Of course, it goes quite a bit up during Japanese hours, but yeah, it's a little lower. So yes, as the forums always say, don't be shocked if there's a server merger or something like that. But that being said, there is quite a few good players running around, and I'm seeing more mythics than ever before. Just last week on this server, for example, there was two Black Mage mythics that came into existence, which I can't wait to see what those players can do with those things. It's exciting to see some of the new stuff that's so rare. Um, now we're getting to be where we see. It seems like almost everybody, if they are on Summoner, they seem to have Nirvana. That never happened back in the past. So I'm excited to see, some of these things are actually getting used, and it's not just this, hey, I saw a player one time with this one thing, and it's good to see that they can do some good damage. That being said, I would say that you can see I got encumbered. I would say with the servers being lower, it's definitely important to play nice. I'm seeing a lot of players frustrated because they can't get into groups these days, and talking about server hops and things like that. As the game gets, less and less players playing it, you gotta be friendly and treat people right. So definitely keep that in mind when you're out there running around, shouting in Juno, being silly. That people are watching and listening. So we uh, we tend to try to keep people around that are cool but also competent at their jobs. So hopefully, if you've got some players like that out there, give us a tell and we'll give them a shot and see what we can do. See if we can get some good players going and get some of these events done. This event we find kind of curious because it's fairly chaotic. It reminds you in some ways of the old Dynamis with how things aggro from so far away, and how you need all the right jobs and everybody needs to do kind of the right thing. We almost There's only a couple of us that multi-box this, and if we do, it's fairly low maintenance stuff. Sometimes I'll multi-box a white mage or a core. The other ones maybe multi-box a bard would be about the only other thing. So there is a little bit of that going on we're reducing that because right now it's too much of a challenge and we're trying to level this thing up as high as we can go. So it's been fun. So that being said, the idea that an event that's this challenging gives the possibility of a random back with the possibility of a random augment is a little bit different than my philosophy. My philosophy, if it's something really hard, it should have a concrete drop, and if it's something easy, it should have a random drop, so you can spam it. It's kind of interesting how it's going in both directions on this one. I'm assuming they wanted to put a stopper and force people to have to, spend time on something. I don't think this was their original plan. I think they thought people would be struggling with other things. I don't know, delve or whatnot. I don't think they planned on this being like harder than skirmish because it is. It's extremely harder than skirmish for random upon random stuff instead of you know 15 of the top items in slot that you get the first time with skirmish. Things like that. So or sideways upgrades. I mean, these are a lot of these backs were stuff we already were using, and now they have insane like meditate duration and enhances Zanshin. And so far, I've gotten one monk back and one Sam back, and we've been doing this for a week straight. And both of the augments were terrible compared to what we see on the forums. However, on this melee only, I got one of the best white mage backs that anybody's seen. In fact, it had two augments on it that nobody even knew were possible yet. It's not even on my white mage mule. It's on a job that never plays white mage. So that can be a little bit frustrating. But I got a decent dragon back. Well, I think dragon's level 1 or 16 or something. I didn't really go crazy leveling up jobs for this character, but so anyway, interesting choice, Square Enix. That's all I can say. I have been seeing groups though, pickup groups do successful runs at level 123, and I've also seen a few people take initiative where they'll level up to like 125, 126, and then just spam the main boss. So there are ways for you to get your wins and get your augments. I don't want anybody to feel like that they can't do it because they don't have these jobs and this gear or something like that. Glitches. You just saw there it would not let me unswitch. I thought that because these things all seem to aggro at 30 or bigger, I thought for sure that other wasp would come, so I was going to evoke it off him, but it didn't come, and then I couldn't switch off. Another glitch that I ran into 2 runs from this one was one of the encumbrance hit and took off my weapon, which of course is really frustrating when you just put Aftermath up, but not only that, it never let me re-equip it. It happens sometimes in salvage and stuff like that as well, where you either need to log off or zone, which obviously you can't zone here. So I had a real struggle because it was right as they pulled the boss, the adherent right before the boss took off my weapon, and then I could never put it back on. Right there, you can see a glitch where the mob still seemed dead, or so, excuse me, still seemed alive after it was dead. So I was still engaged. So there's a few things like that that either lag or so many people, especially with so many geo spells going on. You can see it's a little bit jumpy, um, but it's not terrible. And obviously we dealt with it. And hopefully you guys are lagging less. Part of my problem always is multi-boxing, but in this run I'm not multi-boxing or anything like that because it's hard to keep up with it. So other things of note, just accuracy, accuracy, accuracy. Even with all these buffs, I can't remember if I previously said it or not, but I'm still using a mid accuracy set. And for the mega boss, which is not in this video, I actually use a full accuracy set, even with madrigals, evasion down, hunter's roll. It's still we're still hitting 85 or 90 on the parse or on the accuracy parse. So you're about to see us pull the last notorious monster. I believe with this one we don't kill the regular mobs or the adherents. We just go straight to killing it because we're running out of time. We've got 9 minutes or so. So the idea was to just try to zerg down the main boss. The mega boss, which again is not in this video, is interesting because you'll kill all his ads and the adherents, which have benediction and all sorts of things like that, and he'll actually resummon all but the adherent. So that's definitely something to keep in mind, that you'll kill all those ads and then he'll summon more. So it can be difficult really fighting him, and he definitely spams the encumbrance and the amnesia. In one of the videos, I think I lost my weapon 4 times, 5 times, which is extremely annoying. Um, but once you get it down, it's not too bad. Thieves and stuff have it pretty easy because they don't get hit by that quite as much. But Sam, we try to stay in front for our damage bonus, and unfortunately that puts us right in the conal encumbrance range and amnesia as well. So it's a pain. And you see, it took me forever to target the main monster this time, which is terrible. Um, don't do that. And our white mage died. But you'll see that even though we made a few mistakes like that, it's still doable and we still won. Hopefully you guys can do even better. Like once you watch these tapes, you can know what to expect and do it a little bit better than we were doing. We're still kind of tinkering around. By the end of the night, we had really felt good about ourselves because we had figured out a few things that made these runs go even smoother. And not even different job combos, but just like changing a little bit of gear, or changing, knowing when we can take Hunter's Roll out and get a little more DPS to get there quicker, um, things like that. So we did that, and I think we also swapped bards eventually as we get into the higher tier of these things. They get so strong that it's really important to make sure that you've got as many songs and buffs if you're going to zerg. You can see I got encumbered again. Super annoying, and I'm sure if you've been paying attention, you can see that haste is down a lot. Um, it's really tough on white mages, and I can't tell you enough how much a mythic white mage is important to this event, which we do not have any of. So we feel kind of silly because we made a lot of big weapons that, some of our players have like 2 or 3 mythics on all DD on all the same job. Well, one mule with Yagrush could have saved us a lot of heartache, but we live and learn, and we're just dealing with it the best we can. Pretty much right now I'm just yammering on about things because the video's about to wind down and I'm running out of things to tell you. But I do hope that you guys get something out of this. Um, I encourage anybody to try to level up and do these exciting things. And again, like I said earlier, not to be preachy or anything like that, but we got to make friends, man. We need good players just as bad as good players need us in our linkshell, and I'm sure that other servers feel that too. With so many people taking breaks, we've got a lot of really good players that are around still, but they're not playing until something's worth playing, or until something's worth doing for them, because they've got all the weapons and stuff that they want. So we definitely could use a few people to step up that know what they're doing, and I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. So don't feel like you're stuck in these shout groups. Um, Try to just hook up with a few friends and see from there. If you do well, it's real easy to join somebody like our group where we're missing a few people and we can just add your party in and go for it. So anyway, guys, I'm hoping you enjoy the video. Sorry, it's not a lot going on in the game, so we haven't been posting a lot, but we'll try to keep you updated. Thank you. Bye-bye.